Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are continuing with Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 8, Attaining the Supreme, text number 10. Prayana kale manasachal bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhuvor madhye pranam aveshya samyak satam padam purusham upeti devyam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who, at the time of death, fixes his life air between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga, with an undeviating mind, engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion, will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmanitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are continuing with this very nice chapter where we understand, get knowledge, so that we can set a goal. The whole chapter is entitled Attaining the Supreme, which means how to attain the Supreme Lord, how to go back to the spiritual world. That is the whole purpose. Now, when we talk about attaining the Supreme, it automatically means we end the cycle of birth and death. Many, many times we have taken birth, we died, and we were born again. Millions of births. So by now we should be tired, right, of this repeated birth and death cycle. We should break the cycle. An intelligent person will break the cycle and go to a place where there is no more birth or death. So in this verse number 10, Krishna is talking about the time of death. We've already learned yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatante kalevaram tam tam eveti kanteya sadatad bhava bhavita. Whatever state of being one is at the time of death, to that state one will attain without fail. There is no doubt, which means the final examination is the most important. What are we thinking about when we are about to leave this body? And that is the $1 million question. So Krishna is giving us a secret, how we can break this cycle, how we can remember him at the time of death. And what does he say? At death, which means at the last moment, with undeviated mind. You know, when a person is about to leave the body, or if a person comes to know that I'm going to die because of some disease, you know, within few days, weeks, whatever it is, the first thought that comes to the mind is, what should I do? Let me make sure I leave enough money for my family. Let me make sure I get my daughter married or son married. You know, all those material things come in mind. Let me save up, etc., etc. Very few think about that. Let me now at least surrender myself to the Lord. Let me think of Krishna. Let me start chanting. Let me start hearing the Bhagavad Gita. Very few. So if one is undeviated, there is no other thought at the time of death except thinking about Krishna. And not only thinking about Krishna, he says undeviated mind, and also remember him in full devotion, not half-hearted. Does anyone like half-hearted love? Oh, I love you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday through Sunday. And no. Everybody wants full attention, full devotion, full love. Why not the Lord? So he's saying, remember me in full devotion, which means there is no chance of remembering anything else, anyone else, at the time of death. And what is the result? Krishna says, you'll attain me, which means we will go back to the spiritual world. So the important point in this verse is that the mind has to be fixed on Krishna at the time of death. And that is possible if we practice it throughout our life. If we engage ourselves in being conscious of Krishna all the time, then it is possible. And that's why Krishna has given us chapter number 12, which is Bhakti Yoga. That how by performing bhakti, we can attain him. Now, we may put all our efforts, we may be very sincere and serious in doing bhakti yoga, but till we get the mercy of Krishna, we will not be able to progress. And why would he give us his mercy? He would definitely give if he sees that we are following his instructions. We're practicing what he says every day, not just on Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, every day, chanting every day, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. This is that practice that can make us perfect. Then we can say we are established ourselves in yoga. That means there is a connection between us and the Supreme Lord. And Bhakti Yoga is the best yoga for Kali Yuga. As we've heard, in scriptures very nicely, it is explained, Krite yadhyayato Vishnu tretayam yujito make. Dwapare parichar kalau tad harikita. In kalau, in Kali Yuga, tad means we get the same benefit like in other yugas just by Hari Nam, which means chanting the holy names of the Lord. It's so practical, it's so easy, it's so simple. And the purpose of chanting every day is to help us to remember Krishna. At the time of death, Prabhupada says, the most important or the most working sense is the ear. We may not be able to see, we may not be able to use other senses, we may not be able to smell or speak, but we will still be able to hear. That is the last sense to go. So hearing is so important. Hearing can help us remember Krishna. So when we are chanting, we are using our ears to take in that nectar of those spiritual sound vibrations and let that go to our heart. You see, in the very next verse, Krishna is talking about Omkara, remembering Omkara. Hare Krishna mantra includes Om. All the mantras written in the Vedas, the summary of all those mantras is the essence is the Hare Krishna mantra. That is recommended for this age of Kali Yuga. And it is this mantra, Maha Mantra, that can help us go back to the spiritual world because it has the potency of all the mantras. You see? So Krishna is telling us in the verse that we should always remember him without any deviation. Imagine a wife tells her husband, I love you, but I love this man also, I love that man also. No. Full concentration, full love, full devotion. Krishna is also demanding full devotion without any deviation. And then it'll be easy to obtain Krishna. Why? Because we will be constantly engaged in devotional service in Bhakti Yoga. Smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismartavyana jatuchit. If we follow this golden rule that always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That's a golden rule. And if we can put that into our lives, practice in our lives, perfect. There will be perfection. Then Krishna says, Mam upetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam. That in this Kali Yuga, in this material world, there is only dukhalayam and ashashvatam. It's a place of misery. But we think, oh, it's a clubhouse. I'm having so much fun. I have everything that I want, a nice job, a nice spouse, house, children, everything. I have everything. I'm so happy. But this is Martya Loka. It is a place of misery. But if we go to the spiritual world, Krishna says, Mam upetya punarjanma. There will be no more janma. Once we go there, we don't have to come back. Not don't have to, we will not come back. We will not come back to this temporary world which is full of miseries. And going to the spiritual world is the highest perfection of human form of life. Now, verse 11 through 13, Krishna is talking about how, the Ashtanga yogis, what do they do? How do they, fix the life air? How do they fix their mind? How do they try to remember the Lord? So, Krishna is explaining the Shat Chakra Yoga, the six Hatha Yoga Kriyas. That is the cleansing technique, which is for purification. But it's very difficult in Kali Yuga, in this age. In this age, as we learned in chapter 6, Dhyana Yoga, Krishna gives very clear instructions about meditation, that we need to go to a secluded place like a forest or the mountains, and then we have to sit erect with half eyes open, half closed, concentrating the vision on the tip of the nose, lay kusha grass, deer skin, and meditate, which means have complete control not only on the mind but also the life air, which means there will be no necessity to want to eat and drink and sleep. No. Can we do that? Can we give up our families and go to the mountains, or go to the forest? We are not even trained for meditation. So those who are able to perform Ashtanga Yoga, good. It's a cleansing process, purification. But when we have a simple process to attain the same result by just chanting the holy names of the Lord, why would we want to take the difficult path? And in these verses, Krishna is also talking about that these Ashtanga yogis, when they practice this, fixing their life air, fixing their mind, etc., they are actually concentrating on the impersonal Brahman, which is the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. They want to merge into the effulgence of the Lord. And those sages who are renounced, they enter into the Brahma Jyoti. Do we want that? Do we want to be in some light with nothing to do, no activity? See, we are spirit souls, and by nature we are active. We want to do something. Can we just sit in a dark room and not do anything? Not talk to anyone, not see anything, not hear anything, not eat? Can we do that? That's not practical. We are active people. So it's not a good idea to try to enter into the Brahma Jyoti. Instead, easy processes, remember Krishna in his personal form, Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. His form is Sat Chit Anand, it's transcendental. Remember the personal form, do mantra meditation that can help us on focusing on Krishna. Very, very easy. You see, in olden days, Srila Prabhupada says, especially the Vedic days, many, many, many years ago, the students, they used to live with their spiritual master in an ashram, the brahmacharis, right? And they learned how to be celibate. They learned, they acquired knowledge from the guru, and they tried to advance spiritually. Nowadays, where do we find the ashrams? Where do we find the youngsters who, want to be brahmacharis till the age of 25, not do anything else, just go to the ashram, take on this Vedic knowledge and serve the... Where do we find such students? You see, it's not possible in Kali Yuga. There are no opportunities for anyone to follow this. We don't see many gurukulas around where the student can go. So in Kali Yuga, simple processes, chant and be happy. See? So these yogis who are going to the forest and meditating, etc., they are also learning to become detached. Detached from what? From all sensual engagements. They are learning to control their mind and their senses, and they're trying to fix their heart on the Lord. First, they'll fix their mind on the heart, and then their heart on the Supreme Lord. And then they learn to take the, life air on top of the head. All this is so difficult nowadays. The mind is so chanchal. It's running everywhere all the time. Thousands of thoughts are coming in our mind in one day. How can we control the mind? It is so very difficult. Mind is restless. Arjuna has already told Krishna, please, my mind is running everywhere. It's restless, it's turbulent, it's obstinate. That is a position of the mind. But if that is a position, what should we do? Give it up? No. We have to learn to control the mind and the senses. And the very, very, very easy method is mantra meditation. We chant every day Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Krishna is giving knowledge about Ashtanga Yoga to Arjuna. And he's also telling him it is difficult. So Arjuna is saying it is impractical in this age. And Krishna says, yes, you can vibrate Om while thinking of me. One may try and see if it is possible. Mind is usually agitated, so it is so difficult to concentrate. But while chanting Om, if one is thinking of Krishna while quitting the body, then one will definitely reach the spiritual planet. There is no difference between chanting Om and chanting Krishna. This is what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his purport. Om is an impersonal sound of Krishna. Once again, Om is an impersonal sound of Krishna, whereas Hare Krishna Mahamantra includes Om. So, if one quits the body while chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, one will surely go back to the spiritual world. Now, in verse number 14, Krishna tells Arjuna, always remember me without deviation. Then I'm easy to obtain. So here's another secret formula how to easily attain Krishna. Just remember him without any deviation. Why? Because, the important point is that constant practice is required. Say, for instance, I want to become a very expert swimmer and I want to compete in Olympics. Can I just swim few minutes a day or whatever, or few minutes a week or something? No. Constant practice. I would have to practice swimming out for hours and hours and hours every day. Then maybe I might be able to, get selected at the state level or national level, or Olympics is far, far fetched goal. So constant practice is necessary in any sphere of life. We need to practice. So same thing applies even for devotional service for Bhakti Yoga, constant engagement. And Krishna expects unalloyed devotion, no mixtures. You see, when women, especially when we go to buy gold, do we like mixtures? No, we want pure gold. We don't want it to be mixed with alloy, copper, or whatever. No, pure. Krishna also wants pure devotion, no mixture. You see? So Bhakti Yoga is considered to be the topmost rung of yoga ladder. There is Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is right on top. So our goal should be Bhakti Yoga. There should be no Jnana, no Karma, no Hatha Yoga, no Ashtanga, nothing. Nishkam Bhakti, which means no personal desires. We are not doing bhakti, we are not performing devotion because we have an agenda on our minds. That, okay, if I do this, This will be the end result, no? Just pure devotional service. And it begins with chanting. And when we are chanting, we are also hearing. When we hear, then we remember. That's automatic. And when we start following the regulative principles, then our path on Bhakti Yoga becomes more and more easy. So, to be able to reach such a goal, what is the qualification? Very simple. Always thinking of Krishna. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasya dhrida with determination. In verse number 15, Krishna says, once a devotee comes back to the spiritual world, will never return to the material world again, which is a place of misery. And that's the highest perfection of life. And this is how we break this cycle of repeated birth and death. And this is how we reach our highest goal. You see, this material world is a temporary place, and it has 7 miseries: birth, disease, old age, and death. Miseries caused by mind and body, miseries caused by others, miseries caused by material nature. These are the 7 miseries. But when we go to the spiritual world, there is no misery at all. And if there is no misery, then automatically we'll be happy, right? There'll be no reason to be sad or depressed or distressed. There'll be just happiness. Everybody wants to be happy. I don't think there's anyone in this world who says, oh no, I'm okay being sad. I like being sad. No one does that. No one says, oh, I would love if I can get cancer, last stage of cancer. It'll be so much fun. No one says that. No one wants misery. No one wants disease. No one wants to grow old. And I remember growing up, if we would see one gray hair, we would freak out. I'm getting old. I got gray hair. That's life. There is old age. And Krishna says, those who are born, they are sure to die, which means death is also sure. Isn't there a saying in English, as sure as death? And here in this chapter, Krishna is giving us a guarantee that if you follow Bhakti Yoga without deviation, without, with undeviated mind, when we take on this knowledge, we understand. And then he's saying, you are guaranteed to come back to the spiritual world. So why would an intelligent person want to go up and down? Oh, I'm born, I'll die, then I'll come back again, then I'll die, then I'll be born again. For how long? How many lifetimes? It doesn't make sense at all. You see, it's not that you all are here today on Zoom and Facebook because I posted an event or I sent a message that you've come to hear Bhagavad Gita. No. Because we have accumulated a lot of piety in our previous lives. We've done a lot of pious activities. We have a lot of pious credit. That is why we've got an opportunity to hear the Bhagavad Gita. That is why we've got this chance to hear from Krishna how to break this cycle of birth and death. And as I always say, simple, the very most effective way, the first step is mantra meditation. That is the beginning of devotional service. And only when practicing devotional service we become purified, then we become qualified to go back to the spiritual world by breaking this cycle of birth and death. Now, today's last verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, Abrahma Bhuvana Luka Punaravartino Arjuna. Punaravartino. So even if, one goes to the Brahmaloka, the topmost material planet, again come back into this material world. It's clearly saying all places in the material world are places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. But guess what? We all human beings have philosophical intelligence, not just intelligence, philosophical intelligence by which we can, discriminate, differentiate what is right, what is wrong. So it's in our hands to use our philosophical intelligence, take on knowledge from Bhagavad Gita, and understand how to break the cycle of repeated birth and death. But then choice is ours. We choose. After getting this knowledge, we still have freedom of choice. All of you have come today. You have a choice not to come next Sunday. I'm not going to put a gun on your head and say, no, you got to come for this class. No, we all have choice. So we choose. What do we want to do? Do we want to break the cycle of birth and death, or we just want to continue as we are doing? It doesn't matter. Choice is ours. And then consequences will also be ours. So here, Krishna is talking about Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Even if one goes to the highest material planet, which is Brahma Loka, even from there, one has to come down into this material world. You see, the spiritual planet, spiritual world is above material world. And that is not destructed. That doesn't, there is no end. Spiritual planets are there eternally, whereas material planets do get destructed. And the spiritual planets are called Vaikunthas. What is Vaikuntha? Kuntha means anxiety. Vaikuntha means no anxiety. So the highest Vaikuntha planet is Krishna Loka. And that is what Krishna is talking about. How we can go back to Krishna Loka. You see? So the goal of all kinds of yogas that I was talking about, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dharma, ashtanga yoga, whatever jnana yoga, bhakti yoga, the goal of all kinds of yoga should be to attain Krishna. Why go through, different rungs of the yoga ladder? Why not just go directly to bhakti yoga? It's a shortcut. And then there is no more cycle of birth and death. We can break that cycle. This month of December is called the Gita Jayanti month. It's in the month of December that Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, actually re-spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna over 5,000 years ago. And specifically in this month on the 11th, which I think is a Wednesday, 11th is the actual day when Bhagavad Gita was re-spoken to Krishna. What a very auspicious day. So what we could do is, now that we have got this knowledge about Bhagavad Gita, most of you have been hearing for a very long time, why not take this opportunity and give this knowledge to others? This will be so pleasing to Krishna. On this Gita Jayanti day, let us, make a goal that, okay, I am going to somehow or the other talk to my friends, relatives, neighbors, colleagues, whoever it may be, inspire them to come to the Bhagavad Gita class on Sundays, to come and hear the Bhagavad Gita. Or if you have the Bhagavad Gita, give them the gift of Bhagavad Gita, especially on this day, Wednesday, which is also an Ekadashi day. Distribute this knowledge. This will be so very pleasing. So the summary of all the verses that we have taken today is that if we can think about Krishna, remember Krishna with undeviated mind, then we can definitely attain him, if that is our situation at the time of death. And the easy way is that we start Bhakti Yoga more seriously, especially chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So I'm going to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 10 times. And it's my humble request is that you please also chant. And then when you have time, chant as much as you can. These beads, there are 108 beads in this mala. And if we chant the Maha Mantra on each bead, it will take about 8 minutes. Can we spare 8 minutes for the Lord every day? Definitely. We have 24 hours, right? So please chant as much as you can, but chant with me now at least 10 times. Excuse me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, it's very, very simple. So please chant every day. I'm going to end now. If anyone has any questions or comments, you are very welcome to ask. Excuse me.
I had a question, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
I could you